Well said. The city of St. Louis Park has a long tradition of firsts, and we also have a long tradition of very, very rigorous public process and just very rigorous processes in general to make sure that we're involving the community in these types of decisions. And ranked choice voting, as a council member who was in his chair when this came up, I'm very, very proud that I was on the council when this came up. It was a rigorous process. Started off with the council and with many non-government organizations like Fair Vote suggesting ranked choice. Started off with many of our community members who were considering ranked choice for a long time and asking me about it personally. As it moved through the council, we then sent it over to our charter commission, which is a really important step to make sure that it went through, again, the correct process. Then back to the council, and then we started with our staff and with all kinds of community organizations, and again, Fair Vote, to really educate St. Louis Park on how ranked choice voting would work. One of my main drivers for being an advocate of ranked choice is because I believe it's the most inclusive way for folks to vote. People have said in the race that I most closely watched, the at-large B, we had only 2 candidates that ran in that race. And so people said to me, well, ranked choice voting, that didn't really apply there. Not at all. And when I decided to give up my seat to a person of color to represent the underrepresented folks in St. Louis Park, ranked choice voting was a really key element in my choice, because I knew that if I found the right person, that person, even if their name wasn't known in the community, he or she would have a really great chance of running and winning, because that's one of the key elements of ranked choice voting. As I said, we reached out into the community. We reached out to several NGOs and others to help us move that whole education process forward. Our staff did an unbelievable job, extremely strategic job of making sure that St. Louis Park was very, very well educated on how ranked choice would work. And then I think the actual election itself came off without a hitch. There was mock elections just before the actual election that kind of helped give us some guidance to our staff. And when it came to the actual election, it was beautiful, smooth, very, very well done. So again, as a council member, I think I would consider it one of this most recent council's greatest achievements over the last 4 years, is bringing ranked choice to St. Louis Park. The idea of the next election being ranked choice was really important to me as a council member, considering what is the most strategic and best way that I could, again, find somebody in our community to represent the underrepresented. And in the traditional primary method or 2-candidate method, that very much favors the establishment candidates. That very much establishes people whose names are well known, people who have a fair amount of disposable income to put into their candidacy. But ranked choice, just by its very nature, provides the ability for an unknown candidate, an unknown name, to give herself time to get out into the community and for people to get to know her name and get to know who she is, how wonderful she is. And that's exactly what happened. I think very few people probably knew the name Nadia Muhammad before this election. But by the time Nadia knocked on literally thousands of doors, people knew who she was. And so that was, ranked choice wasn't the end result, really, so to speak. It was really the beginning.
Right.